These people walked in and told me, your results are back. You got to get a blood transfusion. I said, who finna get a blood transfusion? And they was like, you got to get a blood transfusion. And on top of that, we can't let you go home. And I was like, okay, so what does that mean? They was like, ma'am, your blood is very severely low. You are severely anemic. Your blood is not going to your heart. Your blood is not going to your lungs. It's not going to your brain. It's not going recycling in your body. Like, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm just, y'all, I was like, what in the world? You hear me? Like, what in the world?
It's 3:05, baby. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Myammee TV. I'm Myammee, and this is my channel. Welcome for those who are new. My name is Myammee. I am a recording gospel artist by way of rap and hip hop. So gospel rap, Christian hip hop. So for those who are new to my channel, welcome. Oh, girl. Guy, whoever is listening, I don't even know where to start because what I just experienced, y'all, I want to make sure I share today and get all into the details about my emergency surgery I just had for my myomectomy, my open myomectomy, with all the pictures, all the videos, all the everything. Honey, I'm finna get all into it, okay? I just don't know if I should put it in Welcome to Myammee series, which is my new series about me becoming a gospel artist and all the things I'm going through as a gospel artist. And child, this is one of them, in the midst of me building my career and building my catalog and building my music and just everything around me trying to become an artist. So maybe I will put it in Welcome to Myammee. I don't even know. But anyway, we're going to keep this thing moving. Let's just jump all into it. Y'all, I'm going to have everything kind of like, if you hover over the video, you will be able to see like the chapters of this video, because two things that's going to happen with this video. One, this lip gloss is going to be gone by the end. That's number one. And number two, I may be a little all over the place because I wanted to kind of just be like organic. I didn't want to be like reading from nothing. I wanted to just kind of just be organic and give y'all the story of what happened to me out of the blue. I didn't plan for my surgery like everybody else. Not everybody else. Some people, majority of people get to plan for their surgery. I didn't. So I'm going to take y'all back to 2021. This is after I released my first single, Pray and Slay. This is after I released my second single, All That. I went to the doctor because I had been experiencing heavy bleeding, blood clots like this. You know what I mean? And I started to feel them come out. So went to the doctor. This was at the end of the year. This was like November 2021. I went, had my PAP, had everything. Everything came out, found my PAP. But then I told her about it. They was like, okay, we got to, let's do an ultrasound. We're going to go in and we're going to go over the belly. Okay, all the right words, honey. I don't have time right now, okay? So anyway, they went in with the ultrasound, took the pictures, went on top of my stomach as well, took those pictures, went over those pictures with me, and it was revealed I had 7. I had 7 fibroids at the time. A lot of my friends around the time was getting their surgery done, was going through the same thing with me. All of my girlies who are in their 30s, and some people actually have fibroid surgery before 30s, before you even hit 30. So December 2021, I was supposed to go back and have what is the thing they go in, a scrape or whatever. I can't think of the name right now. Anyway, as you can see, I'm not prepared to do the video. But I wanted to quickly just come on and make sure I dropped this video. I was asking her the steps or whatever, and how she responded to me, I was like, okay, she won't be my doctor to like do my surgery, not her. But I did get some information from her. Now, only bringing this up, y'all, because sometimes you got to fight for yourself. Sometimes you got to be okay with not feeling okay from a doctor. I don't care what type of doctor it is. And because this is my vagina doctor, I wanted to make sure that this person was going to be comfortable with me, be able to talk to me, to answer all my questions without any type of attitude or any type of making me feel like I'm a number. Because when you make me feel like I'm a number, I'm going to feel like I need to go find somebody else then, because you're treating me like a dollar. And then I asked her, like, what was the time frame of them to come, like, to heal from the surgery? And she was like 6 to 8 weeks. And I said, in my head, I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I can't do no 6 to 8 weeks. Like, I'm trying to build my new career. Like, I have goals. I have plans coming into 2022. Like, I have this whole little thing set up. Like, I can't be down for the first 3 months. Like, the first 2 months, there's no way. As a new artist, like, I had goals. I wanted to do all type of stuff. Anyway, I got the information from her. Thank God I did have that information to know I did have them. Came into the new year. Now, throughout that year, I didn't do anything about my fibroids. I continued to deal with the heavy bleeding, and I mean, it was crazy bleeding. Like, I think I had made it so normal to where I was kind of suffering in silence, and I didn't really tell everybody like the big thing about me having fibroids, because yes, I was bleeding, and yes, I was having the blood clots and stuff like that, but I was also suffering from extreme fatigue, crazy fatigue. And I get into that on the way of me coming up to what recently just happened for me in July this year. If you have fibroids and if you're not checking on your blood, this is probably your sign, or just not even your sign, girl. Just go get your blood checked along with having these fibroids. It happened I went into the emergency room on Sunday, and I got out of the hospital on a Friday, and we're going to get into that up next. I came into the new year, dropped some more music, did so much stuff, which, like I said, is coming to Welcome to Myammee very soon. But I started to experience severe fatigue. And now looking back, I didn't even know what it was. I just thought I was like just tired. I thought I had to get some new supplements, maybe hire a trainer. The gym started to look a little funny for me coming into this year, 2023. I was like, I had to get me a trainer. But going back to 2022, so I just continued to experience all the symptoms. Heavy, crazy bleeding. I mean, standing up, sneeze, or standing up, and the gushes will come out and it will go up my pants. Like, it was crazy. And I mean it. Like, I know I'm trying to get through the video so it won't be so long, but it was very crazy. So the end of 22 happened. That whole 2022, I was building my career, and I was still battling with fatigue, very heavy, but I just pushed myself. I'm like, girl, you can't be tired. Like, we got something to do. We got things to do. You know what I mean? So 2023 came in. Now, 2023, I entered the new year swollen feet. I just came into the new year already tired, swollen feet, just not in a good spirit. Like, I took a break from social media when I first entered the year. Like, I was so tired. So January came, February came, March came. I dropped my single, God Mode. And when I say I was so tired, y'all, I filmed that video. It took me 3 days to heal from that video, like to rest, not heal, but just to rest from the video. And I just knew it was just like, I just felt so drained. Like, I was really experiencing severe fatigue, and I didn't really know. I just was always tired. I remember I was going on live this year, and I used to always say on my lives, y'all, I'm so tired. Like, I was really tired. Like, some days, if it wasn't work, I was in my bed. Like, I thought it was borderline depression, but I'm like, I'm not depressed. Like, this can't be just all depression for me to be just laying in my bed, just tired all the time. because I work too. As a new artist, child, you got to work. And, I ain't doing nothing crazy for my money to do my videos in my studio. So I have to work, right? So, working, I'll come home from work. Y'all be dead to the world. You hear me? Like, just always tired. I didn't really realize what it was until the surgery came. May came, and I went to find a new doctor. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so tired. The bleeding is not getting better. You know what I mean? It's almost the same or a little bit worse sometimes. My cramps were getting worse. So I found a new doctor, went to them, had them do my PAP. My PAP, again, came back fine. It was time to do my ultrasounds. My ultrasounds just went crazy. The ultrasound tech for this new doctor who I was going to let them do my surgery, child, this lady told me, so she got the top of my stomach. And then she tried to go on the inside and do the inside part. And she was like, ma'am, I can't do it. You're going to have to do it for me. I'm like, what? Girl, if you don't put this thing and get these pictures so I can see what these fibroids looking like, you know what I mean? So I just didn't like that. Like, I felt like, you want me to stick the thing in me to get the pictures. And I'm saying, ma'am, can you just do it? Like, I'm not finna be sticking nothing in me. Hello? I walked out of there, put on my clothes, walked out, got to the front desk, and I asked them, I said, can I get another tech? Like, because I don't like how she just did it. Is there somebody else I can get? And they was like, yeah, we got somebody else who you can get. Just come tomorrow. We got you with somebody else. I get it the next day. Child, they tell me after I've waited over an hour, oh, you know what? The doctor said they're just going to take your ultrasound from the top, and that's more than enough to perform the surgery on you, whatever. I'm like, I've been here for over an hour. Y'all just telling me that? You know what I mean? Y'all, I left. Like, some things I'm easy going with, and some things when it comes to my area, I don't really play about that. And I think I'm only bringing all this up because sometimes we just got to fight for ourselves, right? We don't have to take things that something is telling us no. Right? Something is just telling us this ain't it either. And I started to feel like, okay, Angela, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you always always. Like, I've been doing this for years. This is my second person. I'm like, why are you always jumping to assumptions about these doctors? Are you scared? Are you nervous? And I was just like, this is me talking to myself. I'm like, no, like, I don't like how they treated me. Like, if they treat me like this now, what's going to be like later? So I say this part for a reason. Now, I had took my blood before the ultrasound. So I had been waiting for my results for my blood. Y'all, these people didn't tell me about my blood. So even after they told me that, and I was upset about them saying, okay, we're just going to cancel the ultrasound. We're going to take the top of your ultrasound and that's it. That's going to be more than enough. I still was like, okay, fine. I'm going to just move forward. I'm going to just let them do the surgery. And then I had to go schedule myself for the, what's the swab thing? I forgot the name of the swab thing you got to have. Before you do surgery, it's like this little swab thing to make sure there's nothing cancerous or whatever. So I scheduled that about 2 or 3 weeks later because I had to wait for my cycle to go off, or when I was not so bloody or whatever. I don't know what other word to use. Now, the morning of me having to go get I cannot be thinking of the doggone name. I'm going to put it right here. I woke up that morning and something just said, no, don't go to this appointment. Don't go. Y'all, I didn't go to the appointment. And that morning, some just said, look for a new doctor. You're not going back to them. You're not going back to them. And let me just stop saying something said. The spirit told me, you're not going back to them. That's it. Like, find another doctor. I'll say an hour later, I started looking for other doctors. And I came across this woman who was here in Miami. And I was just watching her videos on social media. And I'm like, see, this is how doctors supposed to be. They're supposed to be thorough when it comes to this type of surgery. They're supposed to be opening for questions. Like, she was just so welcoming. Like, she reminded me of the lady who was the tech of the other lady who I didn't want to be my doctor. But the tech girl, she was good. That's who she reminded me of. I found her and I was like, okay, I'm done with them other people. Like, I'm completely done. So I couldn't find a lady and take my insurance. And I would have had to pay out of pocket. And I was like, okay, absolutely not. Because I got goals and plans this year for not only my music, just for my life. Hello? Budgeting wise. So I'm like, I can't do it. So I was just like, God, like, I got to get these fibroids out. Like, if it ain't going to be this last doctor, who is going to be? It can't be this new doctor who I think she's amazing because she doesn't take my insurance. How am I going to do this? Like, so I just continue. I recorded a new song, which is Too Blessed. I recorded that, did a little video for it, released it. I had a baby shower I helped host, like my friend Shay baby shower. Like, I was just busy. I was planning on some other stuff coming up after that. I was just busy, trying to stay busy. And was like, I'm going to find this doctor eventually. I'm going to find a doctor eventually. And I put my fibroids back on the back burner. I put this search on hold. I'll get back to this search. I got other stuff I got to do real quick. Every week I was just, I was working, preparing for new music, preparing for new videos. Like, I was just like working. So I called the people back who I said I wasn't going to use. I was like, hey, I want to come in, go over my results of my blood work. Can I just come in and we can plan for the next visit to do the whatever it's called before I get my surgery? And they was like, okay, cool. When you want to come in? I'm like, can I come in next Thursday? And I was like, you know what? I don't think I want the male doctor. I'm just playing it off. It may be a little line, but I was playing it off because I wanted all the information so I can move forward and go and find a new doctor or whatever with this information. So I'm talking to her. She was like, by the way, did they tell you about your hemoglobin? I'm like, no, nobody hasn't told me about my hemoglobin. She was like, well, the doctor they had you on file, it wasn't me. I did your pap, but they put you with a different doctor who's going to do your surgery. Did he contact you? I'm like, no, he didn't contact me. She was like, oh, well, your hemoglobin is very low. At that moment, she told me it was a 525. Now, this is July. I took that blood the end of May going into June. I didn't know I was severe anemic. They did, and they didn't tell me. So she was like, I wouldn't be able to perform the what's the name on you anyway because your blood levels was too low. Now, mind you, like I told y'all back in June, I canceled that appointment myself. They didn't call me to cancel that appointment. I would have went in there and then what? I don't know if they was probably going to stop the appointment when I walked in there, or she was still going to perform the little scrape thing on me regardless, knowing that I am anemic, so So she was just like, I'm going to write you this prescription. Just get this done. When you leave here, go get this filled. What was it? It was a different prescription. And then I had to go to a place to give me the iron, like drip, like a iron drip place or whatever. And I was just like, okay, like, so you trying to say I have to have this? She was like, yeah, your blood is too low. Your iron is too low. We can't even perform surgery on you. And I was just like, what? And how long y'all knew this? And she was just like, oh, your results came in the first week of June. And I'm like, y'all didn't tell me nothing. Like, I'm the one who canceled my appointment. Like, if it wasn't for me canceling my appointment, you think y'all would have called me? And she was like, we probably would have called you. I still don't understand why they didn't call you. I said, ma'am, I don't know either. Like, to know that God told me that morning, he told me to cancel that appointment. He told me not to even go. Like, I woke up in time and everything, and he told me not to go. Like, to know he told me not to go there, to not use them, was really for a good reason. And I'm happy I didn't use them, people. I just got on the phone with a family friend of mine and told her all about it, because she used to be a nurse. And I'm like, hey, like, they told me how to get some iron because my hemoglobin is 525. And she was like, what? Your hemoglobin is 525. I was like, yeah, but that was last month. It was 525. I don't know what it is today. She was like, well, if you feel some type of way, you may go get your blood redone. Like, go get a new lab next week or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, I'll probably just go like Monday or Tuesday and I'll just walk in, and get it redone just to see my new numbers. So Friday, I was sick. I thought I had COVID. My head was pounding so bad. Like, it was crazy because right before that, the whole month of July, I was, after my cycle came, I was severely fatigued. Like, I was in my bed, like, heavy all July, like in my bed, heavy. And right before July, I had got food poisoning, not knowing that it was part of the hemoglobin issue. And I'm gonna get into that right now. I'm getting up to it, y'all. Y'all bear with me. Saturday came, I was really sick. Like, I thought I had COVID for sure. I just knew I had COVID. But I took the home test and nothing happened. The test came back negative. Like, so I'm like, okay, if it's not COVID, like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, well, maybe the test, maybe they ain't testing me right. I went to the store. I got some beet juice. I was like, okay, I started Googling, how can I get my blood up? Some say it's the blood, right? I was done with the COVID thing. I'm like, okay, I need to get my blood up maybe. Because maybe if it was 525, maybe it dropped a little bit, or maybe it's the same. I want to get, I was focused on trying to get my blood up so that way when I go to the new doctor, it's up and they can, get to the surgery and just get it done. Or get closer to the surgery. I didn't know when I was going to have the surgery, but I knew it had to be done this year. So Sunday came. I woke up. I felt a little bit better from the day before. I was drinking beet juice, orange juice put together. I had bought this blood builder and I felt a little better. That evening, I'm in the house, I'm cooking steak. It was like, you got to eat steak, you got to eat like this stuff. And I'm still not putting two and two together that it could be my blood is very, very low. I was just like, let me just do this while my blood is low because I know about it. Let me just do better. Because I do want to take my test at least by Tuesday the latest. I'm cooking Sunday night and cooking this steak. If you don't know me, I love food. It ain't no food falling on the floor in my house. Hello? It fell on the floor. Now, when I went down to pick it up, like an ordinary pickup, y'all, I got up and I thought I was going to pass out right there in my kitchen. Like, right in my kitchen. So I immediately came over here to this couch and I just sat here and I'm just like, what? Like, why do I feel like this? Like, I feel very weird. Like, I felt very weird. I had never felt like that feeling before, and it kind of like scared me a little bit. So I was like, let me go lay in my bed. Let me just lay down for a second, and I'll get back to the food later. And as soon as I laid down, my ears started to ring so loud. It sounded like, now why my hands so dry? I don't know. They don't look dry, but it sounded like that, and it was going fast. Like, just so fast. I don't even know how to describe it. So I was just I freaked out. Yeah, I did not feel good. I did not feel safe. Something, my spirit just told me, no, it's time to go to the emergency room just to see. And it was late. It was like around 8 o'clock, I believe, 8 or 9 o'clock. I made my bed, got in the shower, threw the food away, proceeded to go to the emergency room. Now, before that, my spirit also told me to pack a bag. I done been to the emergency room a lot of times in my life. Not a lot, but enough to know I never pack a bag. I just go, right? In this case, because my friend Shay had just had her baby that Monday, and she went to her doctor's appointment as a normal doctor's appointment. They admitted her that day during her appointment. For some reason, in that moment, well, not for some reason. We all know why. Okay, thank you, Lord. He just brought up Shay to me. Shay got admitted. Like, what if I get admitted? Put on my little clothes, put on my hoodie, put on my sweats, sneakers, and I walked out the house. Drove to the emergency room. Got to the emergency room. Pulled up. Some said, start filming. Y'all, and I'm going to keep saying something said because some people aren't spiritually there yet. So, but my spirit told me to start recording. I get to the emergency room. Nobody is in there. Not one person before me. Nobody is in the emergency room. Not one person is in the emergency room. I have been to a lot of emergency rooms in my life, and I mean that. Like, not all the time, but I really go to the doctors. It just surprised me because nobody was in there. So they got me to the back. We're just going to take your blood. We're going to da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, yeah, by the way, I just had a doctor's appointment on Thursday. They told me my blood was 525. He was like, excuse me? Ma'am, that's crazy low. Like, you shouldn't even be sitting here right now like this. And I'm like, okay. And I'm still not knowing the detrimental thing of blood that low. And they came in, they put this port in my arm. Now I only have one good vein, baby. You better get this blood out of this and do the iron drip in this. So I told him, I said, on top of that, I forgot. I told him, I said, I think I need iron or whatever, because that's what the doctor had gave me a prescription for. And so I had brought that stuff with me. I was like, this is what she gave me. These people walked in and told me, your results are back. You got to get a blood transfusion. I said, who finna get a blood transfusion? And they was like, you got to get a blood transfusion. And on top of that, we can't let you go home. And I said, you can't let me go home. They was like, no, ma'am, your blood is, I think, 500 at the time. So it had got lower. And I was like, okay, so what does that mean? They was like, ma'am, your blood is very severely low, severely anemic. And if you don't get any blood, your blood is not going to your heart. Your blood is not going to your lungs. It's not going to your brain. It's not going recycling in your body. Like, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm just, I was like, what in the world? You hear me? Like, what in the world? So I was like, okay. I said, well, no, I'll take the iron, but I'm not getting a blood transfusion. They was like, okay, well, we'll try that. We'll see how it goes. But if it doesn't work, ma'am, you're going to have to consider getting a blood transfusion. We're going to give you the iron and we're going to put you in the hospital. And then tomorrow we'll see what your blood looks like when we take your blood in the morning. So they admitted me. I woke up that morning. I filmed that too. I was like, I just couldn't believe I was in a hospital, right? I had never been in a hospital ever before in my life. I was just like, this is just so freaky. Like, so I got on my phone and I'm filming myself. I'm like, okay, I'm finna get out of the hospital today. Like, they finna come in and take this blood and I'm finna go home. The iron work. Child, people came in there. They took my blood. They came in there quicker than normal. And it was like, ma'am, your blood is a 470. You got to get a blood transfusion. And I'm like, whoa, we gotta, I know it just dropped. I get it. But we got to give it time. Give the iron time to take. And me trying to play doctor, child, I'm telling these people what to do in their hospital. And I have no clue about being anemic at all, right? We're going to have to confirm if you have fibroids and all of this type of stuff. Went down to the ultrasound place. The lady did the ultrasound on top of my stomach. And I was like, well, do you have to go inside? And she was like, you know what? No, I think she said she had found 3 and one of them was very big for her. And she was just like, this is more than enough for us to do the surgery. So they rolled me back upstairs. So that afternoon, my friend Sabrina came and she came with some food. She just does her little thing. I have a video to show how she does. She is just amazing. She's a foodie to the T. So she came in and she brought me some food, child, some real good food. And I ate that food, y'all. Now this is almost 3:00. So I done ate the people little breakfast. I done ate their little lunch. I'm eating some more because that's just me. Hello, don't judge me. I just eats the food. Hello. I'm in the bed, y'all. She was there. And I felt like how I felt at my house, but even worse. So I ate the food and I was just like, oh, God, like, I just feel so like, I was feeling out of it. So she came over and she was like pressing my hand. She was like, Angie, like, you don't have no blood in your hand and you are so pale. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not thinking, y'all. I'm not thinking. So she had pressed my finger and like right now, if you press my finger, it'll, how the white and then the blood will come back. Well, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, and I ain't gonna hold you. I did do it. Now looking at it now, I did do it, and nothing was coming. It was just white. So the doctor came back in and was like, how do you feel? You know, we're on call before the next shift. The next shift is at 7. Do you want to take your blood transfusion? Your blood has not went down, and you really need to do it. And I was just like, I was feeling so bad. This was like almost 4 o'clock. And I was just like, okay, fine. I'll take the transfusion. Like, just bring the blood. So I had got 2 bags, y'all. I cried. Child, I had to pray over that blood. I had to, before they put that blood, before they let go of the thing, I said, ma'am, everybody, let me just pray over this blood, because I lost my mom and my brother to HIV complications, y'all. And back then, I know back then things weren't right? And now they're better. Like, they test the blood, they clean it out, they do a lot of things that they didn't do back then when my mom got HIV from my brother's dad. So, but anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. So that was going through my mind. I'm like, okay, not only just that, but is it clean? Like, what happens? What else can happen in a blood transfusion? I don't know. I was thinking about the worst case scenario about receiving somebody else's blood. Like, I was just like, I just couldn't believe that me, I had to get blood, like 2 bags of blood. Like, so anyway, I took it. I cried. Child, I cried. I prayed over it, took the blood, went to bed, woke up the next day, which was Tuesday. They came in there, they took my blood again. They was like, okay, you at a 7. And I'm like, I said, well, what's the normal number I'm supposed to be at this point? They was like, man, you need to be like at 12, 14, 15. Like, that's like amazing. And I'm just like, 7 to 4, like, that's a long way to go. Like, do I have to get more blood? It was like, we're going to have to monitor you, and hopefully it goes up even more, but 7 is still not good enough or whatever. Tomorrow you need to have your fibroids removed. And I said, wait a minute now. I done came in here Sunday, y'all admitted me. Monday I wake up, I got the little blood transfusion. And now it's Tuesday morning, and now you telling me I have to get my surgery done tomorrow. Like, everything was going so fast, y'all. Like, I was just like, let me breathe. Like, it was just coming at me like my emotions couldn't even just finish settling what just happened from, the first thing. You know what I mean? So, and I was just like, ma'am, no, I got things to do. The next 6 to 8 weeks for me are major for me. Not only just for my work, like my income, but my music. Like, I have these goals, these things set, and I want to start going through the motions of these to get them checked off my list. And baby, I can't take no 6 to 8 weeks off, not right now. And she was like, you need to get this, you need to get these out, because they're taking your blood out of you. If you don't get them done now, you're going to have to go through this again if we get your blood up to get you out of here, and you're going to have to come through again as soon as your cycle come back on next month. I said, just give me some time. And I just started praying, y'all. Like, I didn't know what else to do besides God. Like, what is it you want me to do? I asked my friend's mom, because she came to come visit me that day, because Sabrina, she was at work, so her mom came and visited me and brought me some food. And I was just asked, because she was a retired nurse as well, and I was like, what do you think I should do? And it was just perfect timing. And she was like, well, just get it done, because you don't know what's going to be, by the time you finish all this work and stuff. Just get it done now. And I was just like, I can't get it done now. Like, I need to plan for this. Like, just get some stuff planned and then get this done and then go under surgery and then heal and do all of that. But I want to just plan it out. Let me just get my life in order for this. And she was like, I think you should just go ahead and do it. And I was just like, okay. And I took her opinion and her suggestion and her wisdom, because she is a retired nurse. And y'all, I just had to really just talk to God. Like, when she left, I really just had to have this moment with God, because I'm like, God, like, if I had a surgery tomorrow, everything is kind of like on pause. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, and I just immediately just got peace from him. And he was just like, just do it. Do it. Do it. So I called them back in. I was like, okay, tomorrow what time? And they was like, we're going to bring him in here. You're going to meet him and he'll tell you everything. And if it's not tomorrow, it's going to have to be the end of next month. My doctor for this whole thing, she said she got him to squeeze me in to do it tomorrow. But he came up, met him and his team. He had some students from Florida Memorial somewhere. I don't know where the students was from, but they were shadowing him or whatever. So he came in with all these people. And he was like, well, this is what we're going to do. Da, 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 da. You got these fibroids. We're going to go in. We're going to this. You got to sign this thing that, like all of this stuff. And I just said, wait a minute. Like, I have to sign away that if he feels that he wants to do a hysterectomy on me, if it's too much going on in there that they can't see, that he will have to do the hysterectomy. I have to sign off on that. If my right fallopian tube, it got a lot of stuff around, they can't really see it very well. If he feel like it's damaged, I have to sign away right now that they would take it out, right? He just told me everything what he was going to do. And I said, hold on. And the students was there and everything. Like, everybody could account for this. I said, hold on. Now, one, this is how this going to go. You're going to go in there. You're not doing a hysterectomy. I'm just letting you know you're not doing a hysterectomy on me. 2, you're going to leave my fallopian tube in. And if you have to cut me, I want you to cut me small. Well, now I know my cut is this big. I want you to cut me small. And that's what we're going to do. He was like, well, ma'am, I don't care what you think. I know my God. And right now he's telling me to stand up for myself and to say, you're not doing a hysterectomy and you're not taking my fallopian tube. I mean, I can't think of the thing I got. Not the fallopian tube. Not the fallopian tube, y'all. The ovaries, child. The ovaries. My right ovaries. And I was like, none of that is going to happen. So I'm going to sign off on it, but it's not going to happen. I'm just letting you know that. And he was like, well, ma'am, I was like, sir, no. I had to get him together because I felt like I started to feel he was rushing it a little bit. And I had to slow him down, let him know how I felt and how I ain't liking the energy right now from him. And if I don't feel right, you won't be my doctor to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't play that. So, I had to stand up for myself and listen to my spirit when it tells me something ain't right, or speak up for myself. And I got that from my mom. So, speak up for myself immediately. So he was like, okay. So after I spoke up for myself and I had my own questions for him and all of this type of stuff, I was like, well, I have friends who had this surgery. So what's going to happen if, you go in there and things are mended together? Like, say if my bowels are mended to these fibroids, how long would it take for another doctor to come in and do the surgery? He was like, oh no, ma'am, I'm the doctor for that. I'm like, oh, okay. So he was like, and I was like, okay, I had another friend who had hers mended to her kidneys. How long would it take for the kidney doctor to come in and separate my fibroid from my kidney? He was like, ma'am, I'm the doctor for that. And I was just like, okay. He shut me up. I ain't gonna lie. He shut me up. He shut me up, y'all. So I had a doctor who was the emergency doctor. The doctor who people called on to do this surgery for. He's also a cancer doctor. So I was just like, it gave me peace. And that's all I wanted was peace to say yes to this surgery and say, okay, let's get it done. I'm ready to go. Let me sign, get it done. I had peace to know that the person I was going to be under the knife with, that if anything went left or right, he is the doctor. He's the person to call when it comes to these emergency situations. They gave me peace to say yes. They gave me peace to sign off. So the next day came. Well, I ended up calling everybody, letting everybody know, like, tomorrow I'm having surgery. It's last minute, but it is what it is. I'm going to have the surgery. I called my friend Isha. She came down. She flew from Dallas. She always had told me when I had a surgery, let her know, because she wanted to come down here and help me move around the house or whatever and stuff like that. So I called her, she was like, okay, well, I'm going to be there tonight. I love my sister. You hear me? I'm going to get emotional right now. So she came that night, and this was like maybe like 2 o'clock. I called her and told her I said yes to the surgery. My family friend, she's like an auntie, cousin, friend, all of that whipped into one. Sabrina, she went to make sure she picked up Isha and brought her to the hospital. So Isha came to the hospital. She spent the night that Tuesday. We woke up Wednesday. So Wednesday, we wake up. Isha is here. We wake up, and they was like, okay, your surgery's going to be this afternoon, like around 3-ish. So I had Isha like go to pick up some mail, go pick up my 305 juices, because they sponsored and they sent me some beet juice and some orange juice, which is amazing. The juice is very amazing, okay? So I'm going to put a picture in here, show y'all what it is. So it's 305 squeezed, and I had Isha go pick that up from my box. I had her bring up my whatever else I had, my little bag that I packed. Oh, I got a burp. So my little bag that I had packed, I told her to bring that up. So she went off to go get my stuff. Now she's from Dallas. Like, I have to get her the address and how to drive around and stuff like that. These people come in the room. It's almost 12 o'clock. And they're like, okay, we're going to take you down. I'm like, wait. I thought y'all said 3 o'clock. And the man was like, oh, no, they said we're going to call for you down and start prepping you now. And I was like, well, my friend, she's not here yet. Like, she's supposed to be here. You child, and people got me. And I was trying to prolong it as long as I could, going to the bathroom, like all of this stuff, trying to prolong it. And the man was like, man, we got to go. So I got in the bed. He wheeled me down. I'm on the phone with Isha, like, East girl, where you at? By the time we got off the elevator, and she was right there, child. Okay? She was right there. So they put me in a room. They started prepping me. Y'all, I mean, it was like 5 people in there. You had the 2 nurses. You had the man who was dealing with my arm right here. The needle whisperer is his name. What's the little stuff you put on, you go under? The lady from the, y'all, I'm still having brain fog for real heavy. Anesthesia. So the anesthesia lady was there. I mean, it was like 5 people in there. Child, they was moving so fast. I said, okay, everybody just stop. I just couldn't take it. Like, it was just so much going on. Like, they was just pulling on me. They were talking to me. I was signing stuff. Like, I'm like, everybody just stop. Like, just stop. Just give me a second. Like, they was making me flustered. They was trying to give me anxiety in that room. I had to just pause, baby, and how my Lord say, just cease this ocean, because I don't have the time. So I just had to just cease it, y'all. Like, everybody just stop. Just give me a second. And I was just like, oh God, just be with me, Lord. Like, because it was just so much going on. Like, I was just getting flustered. I was getting a little scared. And I just tell everybody just to be quiet. Like, I just couldn't take it no more. And they're prepping me with everything. And I just had to pray, y'all, like, in front of all of them. I didn't care. Y'all gonna have to wait. Just give me a second. And again, you got to speak up for yourself, right? That got me a little bit calm to get to the next phase of them finishing up everything. So everybody stop. Hello. And they started going one by one. So this person talked. I had to get some order in the room, child. I had to get order in the room. I just had to. They wasn't finna just do me like that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and then it was just too much going on. So the anesthesia lady came in. She was like, well, ma'am, the needle guy's saying that if he can't find a good vein, we're going to have to put it in your neck. No, ma'am, you're not going to put it in my neck, but thank you for the suggestion, but you're not putting it in my neck. He's going to find a vein. Don't worry about it. He'll find a good vein. Because my port for my blood transfusion was getting like, it was bleeding like out, and it wasn't as strong as they wanted it to be for the anesthesia. So she wanted to tell me, that ain't finna scare me. Like, we're not even gonna do that. Child, you gotta talk that stuff down. Like, no, we're not doing that. But he'll find another vein. He'll make it happen. But we're not putting it in my vein, in my neck. No, ma'am, in my neck? Yeah, like, no. They came and they told me, okay, we're gonna give you a, what they called it? A tequila shot. Or something like that. A cocktail, something like that. Something, it was real cute, like margarita shot or something. I forgot what they said. And I was like, ooh, for real? They was like, it's in your vein. I'm like, okay, no problem. You know, I don't do shots or nothing like that. But at that moment, I was open and I was willing. Hello? They were like, no, it's going in your vein. It's part of your treatment or whatever. I'm like, okay. So they put it in me, y'all. My friend came back in, child, we prayed, and my doctor came in while the thing was dripping. My doctor came in. I had told him, I was like, okay, are you ready? No, he said, are you ready? I'm like, are you ready? And he was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, real quick. There's there's Jordan and there's Pippen. Who are you and who am I? And he was like, I'm Jordan and you Pippen. And I was like, okay. Cause I had to make sure he was good, make sure he was confident, y'all. I wanted to make sure he was on board. Like, he was there with me, and I just dapped him up, and child, that drip was dripping. I said bye to Isha. She recorded me leaving. Yeah, and I remember going to the bag, and I remember laying there, y'all, and I remember seeing all these lights in the little room or whatever. I looked around, and all of a sudden, I remember the next thing was I woke up. I was just in such a good mood. Like God was with me. Like he was surrounding me. So I woke up, the anesthesia had wore off, and I woke up, and the first words out of my mouth was just like, oh God, thank you, Jesus. Like, I gotta pee, like all of this stuff, child. It was a mess. I'm gonna play this little video. It's a hot mess video, but I'm gonna play it. Jesus, I thank you so much.
Amen. I'm gonna press. Don't cry. It's over. The worst is over, babe.
Jesus, I thank you. I thank you, God. Oh, thank you so much. What you say you gotta do? I have to pee. I just need to just pee, and I'll take the rest. I don't care about the pain. I just gotta pee. Oh God. But it was good because I remember being up and knowing I had to pee, and I didn't know it was over. I just kept telling them, like, I just want to go pee, and then we could go ahead and do this surgery. And they was like, girl, the surgery is done. I'm like, it is. And
You've done the hard part.
the hard part is over.
The hard part is over. You did real good.
Oh, yes, God. Yes, God. And I'm just sitting there because people told me so much about pain. I didn't really feel that. So I'm just like, God, thank you so much. God, thank you so much. Like, thank you for being here with me, Lord. Like, you know, you're not even supposed to be in your right mind coming out of there. But God, child, God is in me. You hear me? He is in me. He is within me, honey. I ain't gonna fail. You hear me? So that was my surgery, y'all. That was that, what that was, Wednesday. Thursday, they kept me over just to keep eyes on me. And it was like, okay, well, Friday, we're going to let you leave or whatever. So Thursday, I had to walk. It was the hardest thing one of the hardest, not that hard, but one of the hardest things I had to mentally deal with was walking right after surgery. And then Friday, they let me go. So, and before they let me go, they had to pull my drain out. And I had this drain in me due to just trying to keep eyes on and make sure there was no other bleeding going on outside of these fibroids that just came out and it was shut off. So the drain showed the color of the blood, if it was going to be dark, if it was going to be pink, if it was going to be whatever. And the color that was coming out was still a normal color that happens in our bodies that we kind of like deal with. The body is just so amazing. That's number one. And here I am today. It's 9 weeks later. So that's the story behind everything. So now I'm going to get into the little smaller details. They took out 7 fibroids, different sizes. They cut me at the bottom, and my cut is about this big on my bikini line. I feel like a YouTuber now. So they cut me about that on my bikini line. I got 4 holes across my stomach. I got one right here on the left where the hand went in. I got one through my belly button. I got one that was for the drain. And then I have one way at the bottom by my hip a little bit. Yeah, so I got 4 holes across my stomach. A big cut there. I'm happy they are out. I am healing a little bit slowly because of the anemia. Now, when you have severe anemia, not only is the blood not going to the right parts of your body, like your brain, your heart, it is also messing with your immune system, and your immune system is not healing you properly either. It's not protecting you either. So I had a surgery at like a 700 and something. And after my surgery, they had 4 ready for me just in case I needed them. But I think I got like 2 or 3 bags during surgery. And if you have a sensitive stomach, or if you cannot look at stuff, that I'm about to show it now, so you may want to close your eyes before I show these pictures and a little clips of these videos, and I'll let you know when to open your eyes, okay? So viewers' discretion is advised right now. So these are all of my fibroids right here. Okay, y'all, so these how the fibroids look. The biggest one, it looked like a clump of stuff. They had to cut it up to get out of me instead of cutting me real big to bring it out as a whole circle or whatever. So they cut it up, split it up, brought it out of me. These how the rest look, y'all. I know, right? I know, and I know. Yeah, that was them. My stomach was so big. I used to hide my stomach. I used to hide my stomach all the time. Like, I would suck it in to the T, or I wouldn't eat certain things because I started to figure out what made my stomach bloat more and what things didn't make my stomach bloat more, like all of this stuff. One person was like, "You're not pregnant." I'm like, no. You know what I mean? That's why people have to be careful about telling people that they're pregnant, right? Because it ain't always just fat. Sometimes people are growing fibroids. People have other underlying issues that makes their stomach bloat, that makes their stomach go as big as they possibly can, because mine was huge. I used to try to hide it all the time. It's a lot of my videos I was trying to hide it, and baby, sometimes I just couldn't hide it, and it is what it is. You know, at moments I was embarrassed. At some moments I was feeling a little like, you know what I mean? Like, God, I got this stomach, like, I'm so sick of somebody to get these fibroids out. Like that used to remind me to go get these appointments, go find the right doctor to get these things out so I can have a flatter stomach. Like, I was so sick of trying to hide my stomach. I was just so sick of it. It used to always stick out. It was so embarrassing. But at the time when I was doing it, I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to just do my best. Kind of find out the fibroid that was almost 17 centimeters or whatever, that was the one that was pushing up on my belly button. It had grew that big up there. And that was growing up and it pushed out the right side of my belly button. My belly button has always been in flat. Child, right before the surgery, my belly button was sticking out. It was that high up in my belly, so my belly used to always stick out. Ugh. And what's the craziest thing is that I found out I had fibroids like on paper, November 2021, but I knew I had them before that. I knew I had to have had them. Me being nervous and scared about going to get the reality check for myself when it came to that. And some gynecologists ain't gonna tell you about no fibroids. You gotta say something sometime, because they'll miss it. They'll be like, "Oh, your pap is normal, you good." You know what I mean? They're not even worrying about just these doctors, child. I remember going to perform, and I went to go open up for Ty Tribbett. It was in Orlando for his tour, and I was the opener for his show. I remember pulling up to the hotel, and I was running that morning of the show. I was outside running, like doing suicides. Like, I'm like, I can't go up here and be breathing like this. Like, I just can't go on this doggone thing and breathe like this. Like, I don't want to be out of breath trying to rap my music. Like, so I was in there. I mean, y'all, I was doing my thing, but to know now I could have passed out in Orlando behind somebody's hotel. Somebody could have found me. You know what I mean? Like, somebody could have found me. I don't know if y'all remember that episode with Megan Good and them show. What is the name of that show? Forgot the name of the show right now. But anyway, and the lady, she passed out on the subway. Now, that episode came out before I had found out I had fibroids, and before I found out I even had anemia. You know what I mean? On top of that. So when I saw the episode back then, I didn't put two and two together till after my surgery. I went over to a friend's house to go see my nephew. I was watching the show there, and I was like, oh shoot, I remember the girl passed out. And I had to go back and watch the episode, like, just to see, and see the verbiage from those doctors. Like, I had remember watched it, but it wasn't applying to me at the time. It just wasn't my reality at the time. So it was back there, you know what I mean? And I watched it and I just teared up, because it was like, that could have been me at any given place. You know what I mean? I could have passed out anywhere. I could have passed out on 95. I could have passed out on the turnpike. I could have passed out on 75. I could have passed out at the red light. You know what I mean? When you have low blood like that. So I want to make sure I tell everybody I made this video to make sure I tell everybody to not, if you have fibroids and you know you can't get the surgery, that's fine. At least, it's not fine, but try your best to find somebody who can get your fibroids out. But in the meantime, if you can't afford it monetarily, or you can't afford it time-wise, keep eyes on your hemoglobin, y'all. Keep eyes on your blood and make sure it's not dropping too low. Make sure, for those who are really, really experiencing crazy symptoms like shortness of breath, like severe crazy headaches, about to pass out, like that's like, get it done like every quarter. And if you just can't take it no more, take your butt to the emergency room and let them figure that, and let them fix you, let them help you, and let them just do it. Don't be out here passing out, falling out amongst strangers, because nowadays you pass out, somebody could throw you in a van, honey, you be gone forever. Like, that's scary to me. I hope this video helps somebody. If I have left out some details, I'll do a new video because I know I'm kind of all over the place and I should have just wrote down some stuff and I did. And I should have been more prepared for the video, but I wasn't. But I do want to come back for week 12. After week 12, I want to go through my whole week 12 and see how I am, because the whole, oh, you will be better 6 to 8 weeks. Child, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Baby, I'm on week 9. There's a lot of stuff I still can't do. I can't run. I can't jump. Okay? I can't do none of that. Like, I'm just able to walk a little normal. I'm just able to do a little bit of stairs and stuff, like out there at the track. Like, I'm just able to, and I'm just hitting week 9 today. To know that they tell us 6, 8 weeks, 6, 8 weeks, maybe 4 to 6, 8 weeks. That ain't for everybody. And if you are anemic, baby, that definitely ain't gonna be for you, because our blood already had to go through that whole thing of renewing our immune system. Just keep eyes on yourself if you have fibroids, if you have heavy bleeding, if you're passing blood clots. Please go make sure and go get an ultrasound and all of that stuff to see if you have fibroids. MRI if you need to, to confirm if you have them or not, or where they're at, or all of this stuff or whatever. I didn't have an MRI, but I guess because my situation was more of an emergency situation, I still wanted an MRI anyway. Child, I heard they grow back. So I'm going to do my best when it comes to eating better. Eliminating things out of my diet. Like right now, I'm in the process of eliminating coffee and trying to find something else, matchas, like anything else, or maybe just get to the point where I could just drink water or just straight like juice in the morning, like either a juicing in the morning, like maybe I don't know, celery juice, like something like a green nice juice. Try to get rid of coffee, because I think caffeine can really throw off a lot of stuff, and especially with our hormones. And I heard if our hormones are unbalanced, that's an issue. I'm looking forward to getting to the gym. You hear me? I'm looking forward to getting to that gym. I'm looking forward to jog. I'm looking forward to run. I'm looking forward to not having my backup bag in my car where I have an extra pair, like some jeans, an extra pair of panties, pads, and like all of this stuff. Like, I made that such a lifestyle. And I got so used to it because it just became part of my life. Like, the things that had came part of my life, coming home from work, changing my clothes, getting to bed, taking a nap, like being tired all the time, not being able to focus, forgetting stuff, forgetting words. Y'all just see me experience that, like just forgetting stuff, just having severe everything, shortness of breath. I know when I was going to the studio, my engineer Shim, he'll be like, are you running? Like, are you doing cardio? I'm like, yeah, Shim, I'm doing cardio. And I used to be like, dang, like I'm that out of shape. You know what I mean? Kind of find out, no, I was anemic. It was no blood going to the places the right way. You know what I mean? Like performing, being out of breath, like I was like, okay, I got to find some new supplements. I have to hire a trainer. I have to get me a budget for a trainer now, because I am out of breath. Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I used to think that, not thinking, no, honey, you ain't got no blood in your body. Your heart is pumping faster than it's supposed to. You are depleted of oxygen within your body. You know what I mean? Not even knowing that. So I'm looking forward to going to the studio, being healthy and whole, and going in there, killing it. You feel me? Like going in there, going on stage and going 10-minute, 15-minute sets. You feel me? And not about to pass out and die. You know what I mean? So it has just been a journey, y'all. And I know I'm rambling, but I thank y'all for watching. I thank y'all for listening up to this point. Again, if you have any comments, any questions, please put them below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe. I will have a next video coming out from after I have edited this and see what I've left out, or from y'all comments and y'all questions, I'll do a video. And also just an update of how I feel on week 13. After week 12 or whatever, and just see how I am, and just see how, like, what's the difference now. Like, up to this point, I'm walking. This is week 9. So I put a video on social media about how I was walking. And I'll put that maybe in the next video, my progression of how I was walking. And hopefully, prayerfully, I'll be jogging by then. You hear me running. You feel me? Like, oh God, I'm ready. Y'all, I'm gonna save, if I miss something, I'll put it in the next video, which I'll link it right below here for those who are watching this way later at a time. So you'll be able to just jump into the next video. But I just thank y'all. New music is on the way, of course. But right now, it's all about me, God, me listening, focusing on my healing, being able to sit right here this whole time, child. I am grateful to sit right here this whole time. And that's it, y'all. So welcome to Myammee. See y'all on the next video. And look forward to my series returning about my music. Like all my behind the scenes stuff is coming too. So yeah. See y'all soon. Y'all can find me, all the new people. This is for the new people. Apple, Spotify, all them places. My videos are here. Share me on social media. Create reels, honey. Do your thing. Get the message out that Myammee is here, and I'm spreading the word of God through rap, through gospel, and all that. You hear me? So see y'all next time. Bye. Welcome to Myammee.
It's 305, baby. Yeah.